I'd like to welcome everyone to the Novi Public Library Board of Trustees regular meeting, Thursday, June 27th. I'd like to call the meeting to order. If we could start by roll call with our secretary, Trustee Dooley, please.
President Melissa Augusta.
Present.
Myself, Kat Dooley, I'm present. Trustee William Lawler, I believe he's absent excused.
Yes.
Vice President Craig Messernet.
Here.
Trustee Tara Mishner.
Present.
Trustee and Treasurer Jeff Wood.
Present.
And Trustee Tori Yu.
Present.
All right. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm new, sorry. Also, our student representatives, Mahek Nasser. Present. And Tarun Tangriala. Did I say that right?
You did.
Okay, good.
I
think
haven't heard from him,
Okay.
so we'll wait and see, and then I'll connect with him.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, if we could all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, if we could start out looking at the number 4, which is the approval and overview of the agenda. That's on pages 1 through 4. Do we have any additions, changes, or discussions?
If I could just have everyone look just at the committees, A through F, and if you could verify that I have all of the correct names for the committee groups, chair and those working on it, just to verify from last month.
So just to note, we did change the chair for the Finance Committee to Trustee Wood instead of Lawler, because that was his request. So,
And that's noted, so we have, yeah, okay, great.
I believe the changes for me are correct.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think I am on the building landscape and I am not. Or, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to remove you from building and landscape. Thank you.
Everything looks good here. Thank you.
Wonderful.
right, perfect. All right, thank you. All right, could I have a motion for the approval and overview of the agenda, please?
A motion for approval and overview of agenda.
A second.
Second for Kat. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right, and then number 5 is the consent agenda. So we'll do A, which is the approval of the regular meeting, which is meeting minutes from 5 to 13. I did have one question. Sure. And it may just be me because I thought it lasted a lot longer than it really did. Did we adjourn at 9:25 or was it later than that? Does anyone remember? I thought it was later. I don't know, because I remember we said we'll be out by 10. I just wanted to make sure that was
That sounds about right.
9:25.
9:30.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I was just reading.
I know I didn't leave the premises for a while.
Right,
But,
right, okay.
so,
Just felt a little longer than that, but I just wanted to make sure. All right, perfect. That was my only question. All right, any discussion? Could I have a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes?
Motion to approve.
A second?
Second?
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. And then how about the approval for claims and warrants, which is on pages 14 through 16? I just had one question. For the Midwest tape, exactly what services do we receive for Midwest tape? I know that's a pretty large amount, and I looked it up, but I just was curious, like, they have a lot of services.
that's our DVD collection and our Blu-rays.
Okay. Is that the online or?
No, that's physical.
That's physical?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And then I saw that we paid for the Engage, which is beautiful.
Yes.
And then we received a reimbursement. What was, like, how did we receive a reimbursement?
Can you tell me
Oh,
where
sure.
you're at?
On page 15, it says
Okay.
Novi Public Library reimbursement for a Gauge 199.54.
Oh, that's the Friends page. The Friends and the Historical Commission pay for their portion
Oh,
of
perfect.
the sections,
Okay,
yes.
I was just curious. Thank you. And then it said Brian's, which was $4,345. What was Brian's?
That's our lawn service, and that was the mulching that was done for the spring.
Okay, thank you. And then on page 16 for Fund 269, Matter Hackers, is that a new 3D printer? 2,424?
Yes, it is.
Okay, perfect, just wanted to make sure, it said 3D, so.
Yeah.
So is that a total of the two now that we have in there? Did
We do.
add it
The
to
newer
it?
one is a larger
Okay.
footprint, and then we had a Dremel that was actually moved from the public area into the iCube room.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. All right, any further discussion, questions? Could I have a motion to approval of the claims and warrants?
Motion to approve of the claims and warrants.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Perfect, thank you. All right, on page 6, item 6, we have correspondence.
Yeah, and I apologize for them turning out so small in order to put in, if you have any questions about what was actually written, these are handwritten comments that come in through our comment box. The first one is from patron Anitra Faison. This was in regard to the cafe. As you know, the cafe has closed at this point. Ms. Faison didn't, as you can see, I circled, she didn't request a response, but I wanted to put the information, I just felt it was reasonable for the community to know what was going on and know that it was closed at this time and to see that information. And then the second one is from a patron, Martha Risner, in regard to looking at maybe a better way of going green with our library cards. And we are investigating this. So I have Marianne Zermulin from Support Services looking into options. Any questions or comments? No? Great, thank you.
I did have one correspondent I wanted to mention. It is not in the packet, but I just wanted to mention that everyone on the board, including Julie, received a very nice letter from State Senator Jim Runstead, just acknowledging National Library Week and just that he's a very big supporter as a former teacher, and that he made himself available to us if we ever need assistance. So
Great.
I thought that was very, very kind.
He's
and
been very
generous.
supportive of us. Yes. And then if you look on page 1819, this was I try to send a quick note always to the regular educators, our superintendent and the superintendent of Walled Lake Schools on the last day of school, and this was just a correspondence to them for the end of the year. This went out to about 25 people that we have direct contact with through the 2 school districts.
Thank you. It definitely touched my heart with all the things and all the connections. It was very sweet to see that, so thank you. Okay, anything else, Julie?
That'll be it.
Okay, number 7, we have a presentation with a very special guest today. We have State Representative Kathy Crawford from District 38 presenting us with our CUSAC Excellent Award, and also a beautiful presentation for the opening of the iCube Makerspace. Welcome. Hello.
Thank you. Love the shirts. So, I know that you on the board are aware that Novi Public Library has received the Library of Michigan's certification of excellent level of quality of services. So I just wanted to come here tonight actually to express my gratitude to the Novi Public Library, the staff, the volunteers, and you board members for achieving what no other library in Michigan has done. And so I came here sort of to recognize you once again, and to let the viewing audience, if there's a lot of viewers out there, know about this achievement. So actually, just coming over here, going past the library, the parking lot is full, the patio is full, and I thought, wow, what a transformation. Really, it's truly remarkable. So the excellent level of quality of services is such a rigorous accomplishment that Novi Public Library is the only library out of more than 400 public libraries in the entire state to be recognized for this remarkable achievement. So since I have lived in Novi for all of my 77 years, I've been amazed at the transformation of the library, because we've come, for a number of years, the only books that anyone here could check out, anyone in Novi could check out, was just books that people in the community donated themselves. And it was all run by volunteers in a little building over on Novi Road. And then when we finally got a building on the site where the library is now, it morphed into more of a small warehouse for books, and that was just about it. It seemed like eventually people just started going other places to get services and library programs and things of that sort, because we didn't really grow anything. There was no innovation. There was no, it was depressing, actually, to go there for a number of years, even though we finally had a building with books and tapes and that kind of thing. So thanks to a lot of forward-thinking people, we finally got a new building on this site, and the forward-thinking people believed that the library was critical to the health of this community. And I believe that that's true, too. And they voted to build and pay for a new facility that would better serve a growing city like ours. So in a very short time, when I really think about it, in a very short time, it has become the very best in the state. I mean, I just think that is truly remarkable, and I can't say it enough. I, along with many other community members, have taken part in the strategic planning process. People have been included, and they've been involved, and they feel like their voice is heard, because lots of times when I go to the library, I see new things, and they have come as a result of the strategic plan and the suggestions that people have made. So they know that their voice is being heard. So that's also remarkable. When I'm out in the district talking to people, in fact, Sunday, I was asked to come and speak to a group of seniors in Walled Lake. They had called their friendship circle, and they have their annual potluck or whatever. And I took along I just grabbed some flyers from the library, and I started sharing information with them, because I think, having been the former director of the senior center, I realized the importance of older adults staying active and social and getting out and learning something new every single day. So I was trying to encourage them to do that. And I said, look at all these things that are going on for free that you can go to. Look at this summer patio, the series of music on the patio, and the jukebox Johnnies are coming, and Van Gogh if you're listening to art, and the Star Lab Planetarium, and I went on, and I was telling them all these things, and they were it was jaw-dropping, really, in a way. And I said, I began to feel a little embarrassed, really, kind of telling them about all these things that are out there that they were not aware of, but I wasn't too embarrassed not to tell them about all the exciting things that are going on that they may not know about. So I do, when I'm out in the district and I'm sharing the things, that we are doing here. There's, all the ideas that we have here, I'm sure, have been ideas somewhere else in the United States, but the fact that we think it's important enough to do them is really important. So I share the information all the time. And Novi Library really is a vibrant, moving, we are constantly, and I like to include myself in that, a constant moving thing. So I would like to invite Jessie up, because Jessie was intimately involved in the whole process of getting this certification. And so I know the work that goes into it. I mean, when I first got the certification for our senior center, it was a year-long process, and it was very, very complicated. So I know that it's complex, it's not easily done, and you have to do the work you say, right? I mean, you have to actually perform all the stuff you say you're doing. So that's really remarkable. So anyway, this is a special tribute for the Novi Public Library, Library of Michigan certification for meeting the excellent level of quality services. Let it be known that it is with deep appreciation for all of the hard work, commitment, and planning this occasion represents that we commemorate the Novi Public Library in Novi, Michigan for receiving the Library of Michigan certification for meeting the excellent level of quality services. The Novi Public Library serves as a space that celebrates reading and knowledge, bringing us together to create a vibrant and more livable community. The Certificate of Completion for meeting the excellent level requirements of the Quality Services Audit Checklist, QSAC, recognizes superior customer service, cost efficiency, and the can-do attitude of the entire library team of more than 200 volunteers and 70 staff members. As of this date, Novi Public Library is the first and only library in Michigan to receive this recognition. QSAC has defined excellent services as quality measures for the highest level of service obtainable. It was made possible by the Institute of Museum and Library Services, which is an independent federal grant-making agency dedicated to creating and sustaining a nation of learners by helping libraries and museums serve this community. One thing that's great about attaining this kind of achievement or this level of service too, it makes it more possible for us to be thought of in grant applications and other opportunities for us. It really makes it possible for us to get other resources that maybe wouldn't be possible. So it puts us in a space all by ourselves, which is really great. So in special tribute, therefore, this document is signed and dedicated to commemorate Novi Public Library on their achievement of the excellent level of the QSAC. We are honored to recognize the hard work of their staff and volunteers as we acknowledge that a library is more than just a building. Signed by myself, Kathy Crawford, State Representative from the 38th District, Jim Runstead, State Senator of the 15th District, and Gretchen Whitmer, Governor of the State of Michigan. So, Jesse, well deserved, well deserved. Yeah, so, you'll notice it's got the official seal and the gold seal on the bottom. We've spared no expense. Put that right on there. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I should have called you up here. All right. Right. Okay. We'll do blue again. But wait, there's more. Okay, so, as I said, Novi Library is a vibrant, thriving place for learning, and new exciting things are happening every day. So clearly you on the board understand and listen to what this community wants and needs, which leads me to the next tribute. I attended the ribbon cutting recently for the brand new Novi Library Makerspace. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know anything about it. My staff person, who is young and he's a millennial, he explained all to me the whole thing, how this works. But then I remembered my granddaughter too is into this makerspace downtown Detroit. So. So I thought, wow, this would have been an incredible thing for her to come to today. So the brand new Novi Library Makerspace iCube on the second floor, I can't say enough about this unique room where so much creativity is going to occur. People, you're just going to have to go there and see. And try some of the amazing equipment. And it's for people of all ages, which I think is really remarkable. I think that anybody, regardless of age, can go there and learn how to do something. And for those people that maybe are thinking about becoming entrepreneurs, and maybe there's a piece of equipment that they couldn't afford to buy, and they can actually use it right there in that space, and it will help get them started. Because small businesses are the backbone of our economy, not only in Michigan, but in Novi too. Small businesses are really important to our economy. So the new iCube space on the second floor is going to inspire and teach entrepreneurs. So this space is for people, regardless of age, to become better informed and inspired. So Julie, I'd like for you to come forward here. I have another tribute. I don't know, you're going to have to add a room on for all these tributes. Come on down here, both of you. So let it be known that it is with great honor that we recognize and honor once again the Novi Public Library to commemorate the ribbon cutting and unveiling of its new makerspace, iCube. Since its opening in 1960, the Novi Public Library has continued to offer residents new ways to connect with literature, ever-expanding technology, and resources, and with each other. This new edition of iCube will help to spark the creativity and imagination of residents through its use of various technologies such as 3D printers, photo scanning, editing equipment, wood engravers, scrapbook equipment, and I can go on and on. It will also represent a common space for community members to meet, socialize, and collaborate on projects. So just as with all innovations, iCube will continue to change and acquire new unique forms of technology over time, ensuring that residents are on the front line of the advancement of technology. The Novi Public Library has continued to work to grow our community, and the new iCube Makerspace will only contribute in that endeavor. And I don't think there's any other library that has anything like it. I mean, there is?
Yes.
Not anywhere near us, right?
But we do have better things.
Yes, of course we do. Of course we do. Well, anyway, this tribute is signed by Kathy Crawford, State Representative for the 38th, Jim Runstead, State Senator of the 15th District, and Gretchen Whitmer, the Governor of the State of Michigan, with the official seal. And this is the 100th legislature of the Michigan legislature, so. Yeah, you know, it's so good. No, I wanted to do it. I wanted to be here for sure, so congratulations.
Thank you for coming to the audience, too.
Oh, yeah, that was cool. Oh, yeah, another photo. Yeah, okay. Keep those new things coming.
Thank you so much, Kathy, for coming today and for the wonderful presentations and honoring us. And we're very proud and very excited for the future. So thank you.
I'm excited for you.
Yes. All right. So number 8, we're to our first public comment. In order to hear all citizen comments at a reasonable hour, the library board requests that speakers respect the 3-minute time limit. This is not a question and answer session, therefore, library board members will not respond to questions. It is an opportunity to voice your thoughts with the Novi Public Library Board of Trustees. Okay, we don't have anyone today to speak, so we'll move on to number 9, the student representative report.
So this is our May 2019 student rep report. So for our programs, the Tween Pizza and Pages Book Club took place on May 22nd. Attendees read the book, The Report Card by Andrew Clements. The purpose of this book club is to encourage tweens to read and also allow them to practice for the Battle of the Books program that the library holds annually. The attendance was 13. For our Teen Space update, there were 265 attendees in the Teen Space for the month of May. There was no Teen Space on May 27th because of Memorial Day. The total breakdown of Teen Space numbers for the 2018-2019 school year: September 2018, 699, October 2018, 1,156, November 2018, 658, December 2018, 405, January 2019, 452, February 2019, 417, March 2019, 326, April 2019, 240, and May 2019, 265. So our total for the 2018-2019 school year was 4,618, and the lower numbers for this year may be attributed to the many school day closings and needing to move the teen space to the youth activity room a few more times than usual due to the request for large meeting room use. For our Teen Advisory Board update, the 9th and final TAB meeting for the current 2018-2019 school year took place on May 17th. At the meeting, there were elections for the 2019-2020 TAB officers, and new officers were selected. The summer reading program String Backpacks were also provided as a thank you to members for winning the Teen Video Challenge the previous year and for their participation in the TAB program. The photo on the next page shows the members holding their string backpacks, which shows the theme of a universe of stories, and the attendance was 15. And for our upcoming programs, we have the Teen Book Swap on July 10th, Dr. Nitro's Mad Science Show and Liquid Nitrogen Ice Cream Social on July 17th, Blast Off into Space Astronaut Training on July 24th, and the Between the Pages Tween Book Club on July 31st.
I'd like to add just a couple of things, if you don't mind. If you look on page 22, I want to introduce you to two students that are our summer leaders. This is a program that was put together a couple years ago and is sponsored by the Friends of the Novi Library. If the two students that were chosen complete the hours of volunteerism that are required and show their leadership. They receive a stipend from the Novi Library, from the Friends, for their hours of service. So Krithka and Nadia are our two students that you will see regularly at the summer reading table for registration and sign up. They're wonderful young ladies and have been doing a great job interacting with the kids and getting kids signed up and families for the program. They're there almost every day. I see them on a regular basis. They typically see me running up and down the stairs, going to things. I'm always saying hi, checking in. You know, sometimes they get some downtime and they've been able to read a little bit, which that is something we do encourage, is that on their downtime they can read, because then it sparks a conversation of, oh, what are you reading? And then they can share from there. So if you get a chance and you see these young ladies this summer, please say hello to them, thank them for offering their volunteer time, and they will be rewarded at the end of the summer for their hours.
Of course.
I just wanted to echo Julie's note about these two. So
Yes.
I didn't formally introduce myself, but they formally introduced themselves to my son, and they were very patient with him. He has a lot of energy. He's very excited about books, so when he gets to the library, he's very happy. And they were so patient with him, and I just noticed like a level of maturity that I feel like it's not that the other years they haven't been good at the desk, but I just felt like they were like in their element.
Yes.
So I think I recognize their faces,
Yep.
and I just want to say thank you again.
Absolutely. This was the work of, our fabulous teen librarian, Lindsay, and her and Marcia Dominic from HR, met with a number of students that were interested in being the team leader, and they were chosen, and I think it's a good expression of why they were chosen. Obviously,
Yeah.
we're seeing it, but it's great to have them involved
He
in our
walked away
summer program.
very happy.
Yes.
So, and that's due to them.
Absolutely. So please say hello to them. They're going to be around all summer, and they've got great smiley faces and very welcoming. And then on page 23 and 24, the teen space has ended. You'll see the final June numbers. Well, actually, the June numbers are included in this report. So 4,858 students did come through for the school year. It is much lower, surprisingly, from a year ago. But I do believe we did have a number of closures, and we did have to move the space. And the space sometimes that we had to move to, which was the youth activity room, does not have as the space accommodations like we do for the larger room. Now, I hope that we won't be able to do that. We won't do that much next year. There were just some couple big conferences that were asked of that we could give up space. We didn't want to close teen space because that's always if I can, we'd like to keep it open. We'd like to promise the students they'll always have a location, but sometimes we do move it. So just wanted to give you that update. Great report from Yolanda Hockaday-Dennis, who is our teen monitor. She's with us through the school year. She has now gone for the summer to enjoy her summer, but will be back in the fall as well. Any questions? No? And then next month for July, we will be welcoming our student reps. They will be giving you an annual presentation of the programming and the events that happen throughout the year, giving you a little snapshot of the past year. So be looking forward to that for next month.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you for your wonderful report. Enjoy your summer too.
Thank you.
Come see us.
Okay, so we're to item 10, the President's Report. So page 25 we'll start with the library goals. A comment that I'd like to make is that I just read through, we've achieved all of our goals. It was amazing. If it hasn't completed, it is in the works. And so to me, that's just, A++. And I'm very excited, very, very happy. And thank you, Julie, and to your team.
You're welcome.
Does anyone have any comments?
I just want to make a quick comment. I talked to Julie today because we're both on Novi Rotary, and we have new strategic objectives that are going to come into play quite soon. And I said, "You're already doing those, by the way?" She's already starting on those. So she's always way ahead, so we appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Thank you.
It's exciting when you have these things happening.
Any other comments or questions? And then item C, we have board training.
Yes.
scheduled on July 11th at 6 PM.
Yes.
With all the managers and the board.
Correct.
So if we could make a note, and if there's any problems, if you could please just let Julie know.
Yes.
Okay. Any additional questions, comments, or discussions? All right, we are to number 11, Treasurer's Report with Trustee Wood.
All right. For my inaugural report.
I
If
know,
I make mistakes here, please forgive me ahead of time. So to start off, I just want to report out the amended budget numbers for Fund 268. Fiscal year 2018 through 2019 is located on page 33. We have total revenues planned for $3,043,355 with the total expenditures of $3,076,480. Looking to consume $124,570 out of the fund balance. For Fund 269, the amended budget, you'll find that on page 34. We have total revenues of $39,500, total expenditures of $118,950 with net revenues and expenditures of $79,450. For the revenue and expenditure report for Fund 268, as of May 31st, total revenues are at $3,099,543. That's an increase of $14,242 over the prior month. Total expenditures at $2,580,247, and that's a difference of $230,460 over the prior month. The thing to highlight here is what we have right now is a net revenue and expenditures of $519,296. And if we maintain our run rate, we should have another year of a positive budget. So this is what, 6 years, I think, in a row? I don't know the exact years. I'll have to look at the history, but
At least the last two, yeah, then we had before that, though, we had because of the fund balance and because of the downturn.
we'll check that history. I don't remember any of those. So.
Yep. I can give you
Not while I've been a trustee.
I'll give
so.
you a snapshot. I can
So-
send one.
So obviously, we won't know these numbers for a while, the firm numbers, but probably in August, September, we'll have things settled out, and then the official numbers in October.
Correct. Final billing is due. Everything has to be turned in. If it was expended and received by June, they'll close out in mid-August, but then the audit occurs, and it's usually the end of October. You are correct.
So we still have 1 month of budget left.
We do.
correct?
And then for Fund 269, the revenue expenditure report found on page 31, we have, as of May 31st, total revenues of $70,020. That's an increase of $3,778. Total expenditures of $95,893. And that's an increase of $11,479. The balance sheet report as of May 31st, you'll find on pages 35 and 36. For Fund 268, it's $2,423,846. That's on the bottom of page 5. The ending fund balance for Fund 269 is $1,681,555, and that's on page 36. Any questions, comments?
Thank you. I do have a question about the budget that was read. That is not the same that is listed on pages of 26 through 28, but those were the numbers that were listed on the revenue expenditure report. So I wasn't sure if that's been adjusted, or
Oh, per the city.
could we have because we haven't voted on the amended yet or anything, so.
We have. So
For
you're.
268 also?
Yes.
So we did?
Yes, in February, when you had your
Okay.
last budget session, it was understood that the year end, we would give them better numbers.
Okay.
Which is projected in that amended line for 1819, the yellow. And then well, amended, but then the year end is in blue. And then the white is your approved 1920.
So we should be looking at the year end
You
is the
could.
new budget numbers?
Yes. I mean,
Okay,
those are
I
the
just
numbers
wanted
that have been
clarification.
shared to the city to make adjustments at this point so that they
Okay.
can stay on track with their audit. Yes.
Okay, so we should be looking at the blue column then when it comes to actual approved numbers.
You could at this
for-
time, and the city should reflect it in their reports.
Okay, and they
Yep.
did, but I just
Yep.
wasn't sure, because I've always looked at the amended, not the
Right.
year end. Okay,
Right.
I just want clarification.
Well, and that just happened. So I think they actually made it official as of the month of May. It took them a couple months to actually put in those figures, even though they were sent to them the end of February.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. I just wanted clarification so
Yep.
that everyone's on the same
Yep.
page. Thank you very
You
much.
are welcome.
Great job. Okay, now item 12, the director's report.
Okay, lots of good news. Page 37, I'll start with our anniversaries for the month of July coming up. Marcia Dominic, our administrative assistant, will be celebrating 19 years this year. Keith Perfect from our facilities office, July 9th will be 7 years. I'm sorry, there was a little catch over there. Scott Rakestraw, he's our systems administrator from IT, July 7th, 5 years. Lisa Brinkman, support services shelver, July 19th, 3 years. Donna Filipiak, support services clerk, July 27th, 3 years. Tracy Pelletier, support services clerk, July 13th, 2 years. Barbara Cook, our bookkeeper, July 16th, 1 year. It's been a wonderful year.
Sure has.
We are really coming along with finances, let me tell you. This is one happy person. Sarah Vander, Information Services Librarian, July 17th, 1 year. So congratulations to all of the staff celebrating July anniversaries. And then on page 37 at the bottom, this is our annual time to recognize some of our staff. You are seeing the names and the information ahead. They will be invited in July to the board meeting to be recognized by all of you, and then we will President Augusta and I will take them to dinner in August to celebrate their accomplishments. So for Customer Service Award for 2019, this award recognizes a staff person that has provided the most consistent and most positive customer service for our NPL patrons or staff over the past year for 2018-19. The person always greets patrons and staff with a smile. The person goes above and beyond to assist a patron or fellow NPL employee. And the person is calm in chaotic situations. And those winners, and this is an award that's nominated by the employees themselves, amongst the actual employee group. And the nominees, and actually the winners, are Joe Plosky from Facilities, David Silberman, our librarian, he's Electronic Services, Dominic Dude, Technology Assistant, Barbara Cook, Bookkeeper, Jean Aldrich, Support Services Clerk, Emily Brush, Librarian for Early Literacy, Tia Marie Sanders, Building Monitor, and Robin Dirk, Support Services Shelver. And then the next award is the Above and Beyond Award for 2019. And this award recognizes staff by their department heads who are seen going above and beyond in their attempts to reach their annual goals or have made a significant impact on a library service, collection, program for MPL in 2018-19 that truly meets our motto of inform, inspire, and include. And those winners this year are Shannon O'Leary, Librarian, International Languages, Mary Robinson, Librarian, and Mary is our R-Cube leader, Scott Rakestraw, IT Systems Administrator, Lisa Wrinkle, Support Services Shelver, and Keith Perfect, Facilities Assistant 2. So as I shared, I will bring them to the July 25th meeting. We'll recognize all of them. Most of them I've heard from and can attend. We have a plaque currently being put together which will recognize the names of all of the employees. This goes in our staff lounge. We've got quite a wonderful array of plaques over the years that recognize the staff, and then we'll celebrate with a dinner with them. So all of them, I'll be able to expand upon this and read more and share more with you in July, what their colleagues wrote about them, what their department heads wrote about them, so that you can hear more and understand why they're so deserving of this. I think we have an amazing staff. I think all of our staff does a fabulous job. It's nice to see employees recognizing other employees for the work that they're doing, and then the department heads that look for those unique or things that stand out in this past year for other for other employees as well. So more to come on that. July meeting is going to be very exciting. Following on page 38, I gave you a very large write-up about the iCube. You were all there. I thank you so much for being in attendance and sharing in that launch. I think it was one of the best launches that we've had for a new service, and this team was fantastic to work with. Mary Robinson, came with creative ideas and does a lot of that in her own spare time and at home. And I think it's pretty amazing to have someone share talents that, come from on the side and hobbies, and then sharing it with her work family as well, and then with our community, and that's what Mary did. So we cultivated her wonderful creativeness and worked with our IT, Barbara Kowski, April Stevenson, KVD Iverson, and we had a ball. So it was one fabulous year of listening to their ideas and making this come to fruition, and I think they all deserve major kudos for what they've done this year. So the iCube is officially open, and I can tell you, I'm going to pass along. They made me something for my desk. This is the iCube, and so this is on wood, so you can see an example of something, and then they lacquered it for me, but I wanted to bring it tonight so you can just see an example. But the equipment is being used. People are dropping in. Buttons were made on Monday night by a family that needed buttons. We've had 2 things engraved. Someone was doing it for a 50th anniversary, and someone was doing it as a gift for their mother. And so it is, it's by appointment, some of the bigger pieces of equipment. We've tried to put, and as you can see on page 39, which kind of leads into it, there's a system of green, yellow, and red. So green, definitely walk in, use it on your own. Yellow, you might need a little bit of assistance from the staff. And red, we're going to ask that you make an appointment or work with staff directly in order to make something happen. But I'm so pleased. Today, Superintendent Dr. Matthews came in, and I was able to give him a tour. He was amazed at the equipment that was in the room, and I said, now it's time for you to walk over to those high school students during their school year when they come back, and let them come over and see this space, during class time, and have an opportunity to really see what we can provide to the students and that they can drop in and use when they want to. I don't believe they have the equipment that we do, and this will give them the place to do that, and longer hours, obviously, and they have more opportunity for access too. So, and then at the bottom, along with launching the iCube on Saturday, we also launched 2 stand-up workstations at the library. And this came, I love when this happens. This came from a suggestion from a patron in the Novi community, a Novi resident, who happened to be with Mayor Gatt when he was doing some interviewing for his State of the City address. He came into the library, was doing some interviewing of patrons, and he happened to run into Nicole one day. And Nicole has back issues, and she uses the library and studies. She's going to law school, so she's getting ready to be, she's studying for her LSATs to go to law school, and does a lot of studying at the library. Mm-hmm. She's a Novi grad. And she just happened to tell Bob, it would be great if you could, think of maybe some stand-up stations for people who might have back problems, or maybe just have been sitting so long at the library, maybe they need to change their posture and the way that they're working. Well, Bob's wonderful. Bob says, Julie, I want to let you know, I ran into a great person in the community that had a suggestion. I just want to share it with you. Not a problem. When you can see something like that and be like, we've got space, we can make this happen. I use a stand-up station in my work office as well. I appreciate having the diversity of sitting and standing, because if you're doing that type of work for a long period of time, it is good to move. And we made it happen. So Nicole was able to join us on the launch of the iCube and talk for a few minutes, and then we got photos of her using her stand-up workstation. So there are 2 of them available on the 2nd floor in the library, all coming from a suggestion. So a seed can be planted and things can grow for sure. Page 39 And page 40 and page 41 gives you a wonderful snapshot of what is in that iCube and what you have access to. And then there's a few things coming. And if you go into the room, July and September and January, we'll be launching even more equipment. So we want this room to continue to evolve. We want, we want the community to give us comments about what they would like to see in the room. And then we're also looking for talent. So Mary told me today, we've had a really good response to people in the community who have talents, who want to offer their talents and maybe demo or teach something out of the iCube. And then another component would be to look for our local businesses and what they might be able to share as well. So I just see this as a growing opportunity. We're definitely, this is very organic right now, letting it see how it's being used and how it might grow over the next few months. We will be adding a technology supervisor middle of July, and that will give specific hours that we'll be able to post and market for people to drop in and know they have a specific person there to work with. And then, it will hopefully continue to grow. So, any thoughts or comments about the iCube?
Yeah, it was amazing to attend. Great job, everybody that put blood, sweat, and tears into this. It was really great. I had a question about the volunteers. So, will you interview them to make
Yes,
sure
we
they
do.
really know?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know how people are.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
No,
great
no.
at sewing.
Right.
You're like, oh.
It is a process in order for us to find out,
Yes.
what it is that their talents are.
Yes.
Background checks, all that everything that's part of our normal process, but also just the vetting to see what it is that their talent is and if they can provide, some examples and things as well to do that, yes.
Perfect.
Great
You don't want me
question.
teaching
Yep.
sewing.
Great question.
Yeah, thank you, Tyler, a great question.
May I?
Of course, everyone.
I was talking to someone, and I don't even remember who it was, but who saw our video editing equipment.
Yes.
And they asked about, do we have something that would take slides, remember the old?
Right.
And
Photo
convert that
slides.
to digital. And I didn't know that we had something like that.
I don't
but
believe
thought
we
I'd
do.
mention it.
Yeah, I'm familiar with, and I can check, only because I listen to everything the staff tells me they have, and I can miss things at times. But as far as I know, it is for VHS, it is for cassette, and it is for LP, so your records for conversion.
If,
I will check on.
yeah, if there is
Yep,
something that's reasonable, that might
Yes.
be a nice addition.
Absolutely. So you're looking for movie slide type,
Like the old Kodak
yes,
you put
the
on
real,
a
yes, the
carousel.
real. Absolutely.
I also have a comment, if that's okay. So, it was just a pleasure to be there, and I was so impressed because I'm a creative professional. I work in creative services for the company that I work for every day, and our makerspace, just to give scope, has professional level software in there, design software that could be cost prohibitive to the average person. If they want to access Adobe Creative Suite, they have to basically pay at least $700 every year. And for us to be able to provide that tool is incredibly huge for the community. And so I'm really proud of it. It's awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was, I'm telling you, these ladies had some great ideas that they came with right away. So it was a lot of fun over the last year to see them, build the space. So I think it's going to be great for the community. And the summer, having the traffic that we get with summer reading, I think helps when we launched it. And then as fall gets back and hopefully being able to connect with the schools, we'll be able to make some other great relationships as well. Letting the teachers know that we have this available, and if they want to make a visit over, if they want to work with us. I can tell you that our Enable group, we have not let them go. We actually have, for sure, one of our students who's on the Enable is actually going to be teaching in the IQ because he already does it.
That's wonderful.
So he's going to be teaching our Tinkercad, a basic Tinkercad class. He does CAD already, so I'm sure that we can use him at other levels. We just have to make sure, they're so busy, so we have to make sure we can get him at the right time. But this is examples of, him being able to share his talents already and his love of this type of technology and letting other people see it. The other part that I'm very proud of, and this is where we kind of stand, we stand different from other public libraries with this type of space, is the creative kits. So If you have no idea what the iCube is and you have no idea what the equipment is, don't be afraid. And don't shy away from dropping in and seeing the space, because just outside the door, on shelves and with the collection that we're building outside the room, there will be more, but right now we started with 7 creative kits. They're containers, and you literally can take the container and walk into the iCube, open the container, and we will walk you through a creative opportunity, whether it's painting or some type of scrapbooking. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you can do, and so we're going to give you that opportunity to follow directions and explore on your own with these creative kits, and that is something different from other libraries. We wanted people to use the room and give them ways to do it, even if they were shy to the equipment at first. So,
It's great.
I saw the gift bags, I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
any other questions about that?
I was blown away.
Great.
First of all, I had no expectations. I knew it would be amazing, but the level of professionalism of, like you said, the machines and the tools were mind-blowing. I think Councilmember Ramesh was like,
Yes.
how do you use these? Is there a class you have to
Yes.
take? How do you? He was so cute, but he was part of the initial
Right.
approval. So for him to go and see it was
Right.
incredible.
I know, talking to Mayor Gadd as well, he was just, he had no words. He goes, Julie, I don't even know what to tell you.
That's
I
pretty
can't,
amazing.
I can't believe it. And then what was wonderful is him asking, how can we support it? How can we support you,
That's
and how can we
wonderful.
support this in the future, which was wonderful to hear. So he obviously, was very proud of it as well.
I was thinking about the teen space and the numbers, and now having the iCube. I
Right.
think will attract even more.
Absolutely.
Because the activities with that, and yeah, I think it will
Yep.
spread like wildfire.
I do too.
Any additional comments
Any
before?
other thoughts?
Okay.
Okay, so there are a number, so we're going to talk about board, matters for board action, which we'll get into the library closings. And then there are a number of policies that are being brought back to you tonight for second review. I'll go ahead and skip those at this time and go on to I have to start on page 60, which is the information technology report from Barbara Kowski. As you can see, lots of training going on, upgrades. Always, just a note, and we didn't talk about it in finances, but Barb's busiest time for spending is always March, April, May. And that's because of when the building was first coming to be open 9 years ago, and when we were purchasing the equipment and getting it in the building. So she tends to sit on her money, and then come after the new year, it's always spending time for her. So they've been busy with new equipment coming and going or changing out and then doing upgrades, and that happens a lot in the spring for her. Page 61 is April Stevenson's report for information services. A lot of great programs. Page 63, some great photos, and you can see what's been going on. The Raising a Reader, again, still doing great when it comes to numbers, and the number of books read just in the month of May was 33,000. That's a lot of books for 1 month for little people. So continues to be a very busy and very popular program for our young people. On page 64 is Support Services Department report from Marianne Zermulin. And one thing to note is the amount of checkouts. 64 items were checked out in May, and here we're coming into the summer months, and this is usually our busiest for checkouts. So we're doing really well when it comes to our statistics and the usage of the building. Page 65, all the way through to page 73 is your statistics. One more month to go, and we'll have our final numbers. Everything looking very good. The self-checkouts still down a little bit. From originals. We've seen about a 10% decrease when it comes to usage there. I know that for the most part, I understand that Carl and things, the bugs have been worked out, but there was some downtime, and people might be just traveling over to work with a person instead of the self-checkout equipment. That can be part of it. You get used to a habit and then you change a habit. But we have seen that go down a little bit. And then there is the Historical Commission, their Wednesday, June 19th. This was their agenda. I haven't had any minutes submitted. And then your library board calendar has been put in June through May of next year. Any questions that I can answer for you?
I have some.
Yes.
On page 61, for Lindsay, she applied and received 3 Michigan Humanities Touring Grants, which
Yes.
is awesome. Did she use that for summer reading, or what was the
It is for
300?
programming coming up,
Okay,
yes.
so
Yep.
for
In
future.
fact, last month, there were a couple letters that alluded to that.
Perfect,
Yes.
okay, I just wanted to clarify.
Yep.
On page 62, what is Hackatoy?
That is where you can bring in toys and you can actually dismantle them, take them apart, use different parts, create new things with it.
That is
Yes.
very exciting. And then on page 64, there was a note about logging into their accounts for
Yes.
Carl. I just wanted to, has it been corrected? Is that okay?
They're working on
They're
it,
still
yeah.
working on
That
it,
was,
okay.
that was a problem that kept showing up, and
Okay.
yes, as far as I know, it has been corrected, but I'm still getting little notes, and we're still finding some things that are not 100%.
But they can just bring their cards in and
Yes,
they'll look it
yes,
up and
we
you
will
guys
work
can
with
fix
them.
them instantly.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
And then I noticed that it said items discarded from the collection, 1,007. Is that average, or is that just like a big purge? And then how often do you guys purge?
We purge on a regular basis.
Regular basis,
Yes,
okay.
because to hold off and just do a weed, it's too much. So it's constant revolving, purchasing
Okay.
and discarding throughout the year. We usually discard on an average about, if I go back to my numbers, I'm going to say about 11,000, 10 to 11,000 items. But then purchasing can be 10, 11, sometimes 15,000
Okay.
for the year that come in. So it's pretty much consistent with what's coming and going. We still haven't seen much of a decline when it comes to purchasing of books. Downloadables continue to grow, but, the publishing industry is still doing very well, and books are still coming in, yep. So, not much change there.
Right. And I think we've had a recent donation for some international books.
We did, yes.
that we've
received
done a
an-
purchase?
We received another $500 donation from the Duchesneau family, and I'll be working with them next week, actually, to put up the next display of books that were just received.
Very nice.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yep.
very kind of them.
A
Right.
quick question
Yes,
on
yes.
library usage on page 67. Drive up, is that drive up like the book return, or is that the drive up window?
It's a drive-up window. We're
Okay.
able to, it's counting both as you
Okay.
drive up to return and as you use the window. It's
Oh,
all,
okay.
we're able to catch that number now. And we do believe, for the most part, that is a different number from someone physically walking in the building. So, yep.
Okay,
We started tracking that a couple years ago.
okay.
I have a question. It's probably a little early yet. Do we have any usage statistics on Beanstack?
I only had the original, we had just over 300 for our Sunday sign-up when we did the June
Okay.
9th event.
Okay.
I don't have it yet, I can get some for you.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
I'm curious. So,
Absolutely.
just for the public to know, if they don't know already, Novi Public Library now has an app, especially for our summer reading, but also for 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten. And that's something that I was always like, I would really love an app, because to handwrite all the books in my family, I just don't have time. And it's really a robust, amazing website and app, and it makes tracking reading for your family so much easier. So it's an amazing innovation and things for like making that happen to the
That's my
team.
youth department. Anything that can
I
make
love
their
it.
lives easier too, they
awesome.
like to do. Yes, yes. The reason why you're not seeing any summer reading stats is because we're on May statistics.
We just started, yeah.
Well, and even though I give you sometimes some June things in my reports, they're really good about sticking to the rules. They listen
That's
to me,
okay.
I don't listen to myself.
okay.
And, iCube's in there, and that really happened in June, but I'm so excited to tell you it, and when I'm writing up stuff, I put it in. But they're really good about following the rules and keeping it to the month that things occur. So I can get you some stats right
Thank
away.
you.
Yep.
All right, any additional questions, comments? All right, so we'll go down to item 13, committee report. The first one is policy committee.
And the only thing is, I think we have a matter for board action that we'll talk about later.
Perfect, thank you. HR committee?
No comment.
No action at this time, all right. And finance committee?
Oh,
Chair
no
Wood?
comment.
All right, and then we have events, marketing, fundraising.
Yep.
Chair, you?
Yep, and there are lots of comments to make here. Uh, uh, The board member bingo idea, we're gonna try and meet up and try to get that hashed away so we can get that rolling, hopefully later this summer. In terms of events this month, we've been very busy. June 1st, we had the new, sorry about that. The new, excuse me, the new youth area was open at our partner library, the National Neighborhood Library Association, on June 1st, and President Augusta, you went to that?
Yes, sir. Yep.
And do you have any comment about that?
Yeah, it was beautiful, and they were parked on the street, and they have the woods behind them. And you can walk through the woods and read a story as you walk through it, and it is just mesmerizing. And the activities that they had were just beautiful. It was a very beautiful unveiling, and their space is absolutely incredible, so.
I think they gained about 2,800 square feet, 2,800
great.
square feet.
That's great.
A community room that can be rented, separate entrance, and onto the, and it was beautiful. I took Jamie, not Jenna, but I took Jamie over, and we ran over and walked through and looked at the space, got a chance to see Donna Olson, who's the director, and they did a great job.
Yeah.
Nice addition for that library in that community.
It was beautiful.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Yep. All right, and then on June 9th was our kickoff to our reading program, and I was able to attend that, and it was a very busy event there. Busy event there, despite it was a little sprinkly out there. We had 10 Mile being torn up that day.
Yes.
Yes, I was worried about that.
Yes. So
It didn't
those-
stop anybody.
It didn't.
No.
It
So
didn't.
with those two things happening, I was very surprised and happy that the residents still came in to support.
Yeah.
We had lines at the check-in table. At the petting zoo, there was lines for face painting, the activities. So it's a very nice event. It was the first year. Is that what you told me?
Yes, that we were doing a kickoff before really the kickoff. Does
It
that
was
make sense?
awesome.
We did a party before the kickoff, yes.
I wasn't able to attend, but my parents were there
Yes,
with
they
my
were.
son, and Julie got to meet
Yes, I
them.
did.
And they were so impressed. And my dad, who's Greek, has a very heavy accent, and he was like, "This is a world-class library." He was really impressed, so.
They did, it was nice to meet them. It was a busy day, so thank you to both of you for attending.
Yep, it was very nice. June 20th was the State Fair Press Luncheon. President Augusta has been very busy this month and attended that as well. Any comment on that?
Yeah, the things that they're going to be bringing are amazing. They actually have a run called Moving something. They're going to run through the barn.
Oh.
And I think it was either like $30 or $40 to join, and you get a shirt, and
Wow.
you get special bands. It was just things that are coming up. There's going to be a giant truck, a raminator that's going to crush trucks, and they're going to take kids for rides and picture ops. They're going to have the Clydesdale there where they can get pictures. I mean, just the upcoming state fair was going to be amazing. And also, they're moving music to Thursday night.
Okay.
And it was just incredible, and the turnout was very nice.
Is it a 5K?
5K, thank you.
Will there be bulls chasing the runners?
Lots of people chasing the runners.
That would
no.
make
That's a really good
There may be
question.
clowns, and the circus will be there, the Shrine Circus, and, and they'll have the special preview on Wednesday before, too.
And as members of the Rotary, both Kat and I will be involved, and if you're interested in supporting, the Rotary
Yes,
does
please.
receive funds from the State Fair and from the beer tent.
The beer
So
tent.
if you make your way over there, you'll see some Rotarians working, and that money goes towards programming, then for the community as well, and for Feed the Need. So it's
Yes.
a great way for us to raise money for the Novi Rotary.
Yep, all right, very nice. And I don't think I've been to the new State Fair since I moved to Novi, so I guess I should make my way over there this summer.
It's awesome. I'm telling you, for a fair, I'm not a big fair person, honestly, but every year that I have attended, I just think it is such a class presentation.
Every
on the
time.
event. It
Yeah,
is.
it's great.
clean, everything about it is just a
Well
really, really
organized.
great event for as big as it is and the numbers that it draws.
All right, it is on my list this summer.
Yes.
I think by the time it gets started Labor Day weekend.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
We are back in school, but I'll try and make
Right,
time.
get over there for a break.
Yes. And then June 22nd, this past Saturday, we were all at the iCube unveiling, which was very nice, very cool. I'm hearing lots of wonderful comments, and parents I've talked to are very excited to try it out this summer, so.
And Tori, we're going to use you as a connection to our Hickory Woods and our World
Yay.
Lake
Of
course.
families, so.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
let's figure out how we can get them involved. I have reached out to Superintendent Gutman to
Okay.
meet with him this summer on a
Okay.
few things, as well as Lending Library. I want to have a good conversation with him about Lending Library, and we'll get him in and do a tour, and then let's see what we can do.
Sure, absolutely.
Great.
And we are all sporting our summer reading
Yes,
shirts
you are.
today,
Thank
so
you.
Thank you for
We'll
including
get a
us
photo
in it.
tonight, yes.
Absolutely, thank you for including us. All right, thank you so much. All right, strategic planning,
So our review was completed in 2017, and as of May 23rd, 3 strategic objectives were approved by the library board. So thank you for that. Information will be in the design phase following the start date of July 1st for the new communications coordinator. And we're hoping to provide the board with a rough draft of objectives and tactics that would fit each objective so that board members can get a sense of work to be done through 2019 and 2022. So that's coming up.
Yes, it is.
thank you very much. All right, building landscape committee,
Okay. As we discussed previously, the race car will be leaving the library. We still have some details to work out because we'll need some building upgrades, if you will, when that happens. But that will be happening relatively soon. Moving on to the cafe, we have not quite, but almost finished the work with the prior cafe owner. The equipment has been moved out. We are still waiting for a couple months of payments that were due us that haven't come in yet. We are working on, and it seems like we're getting closer, on getting the new operators of the cafe in and getting all that approved. As recently as this afternoon, there was more progress made on that. And I think when we get that done, I think it'll be pretty interesting and exciting to see what changes going forward. As far as the grounds, we continue to have fun things happen with our bioswales. Before it was hot and dry and it hurt it, and now it was wet all spring, and that did the other damage to it.
Oh, man.
So we've got a few things that we need to work out, and the city's helping us on some of that. So that's kind of an ongoing thing, trying to keep those looking healthy. The lending library kiosk, there's a meeting coming up in August, so that will start to make more progress as that proceeds. The LED lighting situation, as we discussed prior, the majority of that work has been completed. As you'll read there were some issues with the bulbs. Since that was typed up, those issues have pretty much been resolved, so that continues to be good. And as Julie highlighted to a couple of us yesterday, we've noticed a significant decrease in our expenditures for electricity this past year. So we'll try to put some more numbers together on that. But it has, in fact, turned out pretty much like we thought it was going to turn out, with a short payback time and at least equal, if not improved, lighting in the library, different sections. So that has worked quite well.
thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Madam.
Bylaw committee, I will report that there is nothing to report at this time. I think we'll be setting up a meeting in the near future. Thank you. All right, number 14, second public comment. In order to hear all citizen comments at a reasonable hour, the library board requests that speakers respect the 3-minute time limit. This is not a question and answer session, therefore library board members will not respond to questions. It is an opportunity to voice your thoughts with the Novi Public Library Board of Trustees. All right, no one is coming up to the podium. So our next is, we're going to move into executive session, so I would like to request a motion to adjourn and move into executive session.
Motion to adjourn to executive session?
Second,
Second.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right,
Did you have to do a roll call? Do you remember that?
Oh, do we have to do a roll call
A
for
roll
this
call
one?
for executive session? Remember the attorney said that a couple months ago? And
I don't
we
know if
we
it's-
mentioned that we weren't familiar with that, but he said, yeah,
Yeah.
you're supposed to do it every time.
I don't know if it's for director review.
Oh.
That's what I was questioning.
Would it hurt just to be
No,
safe?
it wouldn't.
Yeah, we
It
can do
would
a roll
not.
call.
Yeah,
Do you
so
want-
you might as well, and that way it covers all
We're all here.
bases. Yes.
So a roll call would be a vote of,
Yep,
oh,
of
just say our
everyone.
names? Okay. So will you do?
Actually, Kat would go ahead.
Yeah,
and-
I would
Yes,
do
will you
roll
do
call.
roll call to move
Yes.
into executive session?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All my papers are all over the
You
place
didn't know
now.
you were going to do this twice, did you? Oh, no.
Trustee Augusta,
Here, present.
Trustee Dooley, I'm present. Trustee Messernet,
Here, present, yes, I'm not sure what.
I think
the
you're
rest
saying
is.
yes,
Yes.
to go into, yeah.
yes. Trustee Mishner,
Present.
Trustee Wood,
Present.
Trustee Yu,
Present and
And-
yes.
Trustee Lawler is absent excused.
All right, thank you. So we'll return back. You don't know when, though.
So we do the other
We will
stuff.
return, but we don't know when.
Okay.
2020. And I believe that there is a time constraint due to the city of Novi.
There is, but you do have the July meeting, so bringing this for first time, if you want to wait and have this brought back in July.
Yes, I recommend that.
I just have one question, very
Sure,
quickly.
absolutely.
I'm sure you have already reviewed the numbers from previous years to show like usage and stuff,
I'll
because
go ahead and have that pulled.
I think so. I think just so that you could really explain to us the why and, you know, the cost factor compared to the patrons and such, I think it will be helpful when making a decision. Okay, so we will table that then for the next meeting. All right, B, which is on page 13, which is our policy, I'm sorry, it's on page 46 to 47, it's policy number 13, I apologize. So this is the second reading, and this was our wonderful policy committee, did the review of unattended children. So you can see the highlights are on page 43 through 45. Any discussion or questions or comments? I think the biggest changes really are just, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong page. I should probably get the right page. Page 46 and 47 is just kind of how important it is for our patrons, including our children, to feel comfortable with our library and services, but yet they have to, parents and children have to understand that we are a public facility and that there are cautions and dangers. And the purpose of this policy is to provide for the safety and well-being of our children on our library premise. So also asking our staff, patrons, that if you do see something suspicious, that it really truly needs to be reported right away so that we can take appropriate measures.
Are we looking to do a motion to approve this?
Yes, please.
Make the motion?
They have a motion to approve the policy 13.
I make a motion to approve the policy 13.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any against? Thank you. All right, it is confirmed. And then rules of conduct on pages 53 through 57. Everyone had a chance to read it? Is there any discussion?
There is an addition I want to just bring you to, on page 54, if you see the blue highlight, number 3. This was based on more communication from my staff, and we were looking for something more specific so that we would like to put in the police, should we need to make a call. I do too. So that was added since the first revision that you saw.
All right, any further discussion, or would someone like to make a motion to pass?
So I can no longer wear my bathing suit in the library?
Please, you never could wear your bathing suit in the library. That was not a new change.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the amended P11 Rules of Conduct for Public Policy.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right, and then for D, which is B4, meeting room, we're going to pause on that until we get some additional information and feedback.
I met with my admin staff, they weighed in, and then I gave it back to the attorney, did not receive it back.
Okay, absolutely.
Thank you.
And then on page 58 and 59, B8, this is social media. So this has been the second draft. It's also been reviewed by the attorney and staff. Is there any discussion, or is there anyone would like to make a motion to approve B8 social media policy manual?
I make the motion to approve B8 policy and manual, social media.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, perfect. Is there anything else?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Do you have a motion to adjourn? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Have a great evening.